Hey guys, I decided to take a short break from all my 20 hours of card sorting and selling and all that and listing, and oh my gosh, it's been not fun. I never want to open another booster pack as long as I live. But besides that, I figured, I made that lovely speculative video about what cards would go up and what would go down. Well, I figured I'd report on actual reality right now because it's been less than 24 hours and there's 2 cards that I am virtually sold out of, which is really saying something considering I have well over 50,000 cards. Overnight is the first one, just between overnight and this morning. So between, the midnight release and about 9 in the morning, I almost completely sold out of Sylvan Advocate. And I mean, you think about it, it costs 2, it's an ally, it's an elf, so that might come up. It has Vigilance, it's a 2/3, and then it gets a huge bonus and gives land creatures a bonus if you have 6 or more lands, which is what green does. I mean, this reminds me of Avatar the Resolute. It does way too many things for costing 2. Way too many. So this one's an obvious one. Now, the problem is, as soon as the whole world sells out of them, how high could the price really go? Because it's around $2.50 to $3 depending upon where you buy it right now. And, maybe it'll hit 5, maybe it'll hit 6. I mean, that's cool. You could go 2 to 1 if you can pick some up. But I don't see it hitting $15. It's not a combo card. It's not an integral part of a deck. It's just a good card. So that's why I think people are picking it up so early. Number 2, this one, I don't know, it doesn't really surprise me, but I sold many, many, many sets. I think 40 or 50 total cards at least so far, just in less than 24 hours, of Goblin Dark Dwellers. And it makes sense. I mean, it's a creature. It's a goblin, so you got goblins, great. It costs 5, which is kind of a lot for red, but it has menace and it's a 4/4, so that's pretty good. And then whenever he enters the battlefield, and I love this during the pre-release, by the way, you can just go get an instant or sorcery card out of your graveyard with converted mana cost 3 or less and just cast it for free. And then if traditional rulings are in place for this card, which they should be, that means that if there's an additional secondary cost, like sacrifice a land, then deal X damage, that's considered to be paid because you're casting it for free with an alternate cost, so all other costs are considered to be paid. So you could cast just about anything. I mean, a lot of red spells cost 3 or less. That's kind of how it works. Now, obviously, it doesn't work with X spells because you're not allowed to pay X. But, it's good. I mean, I could think of quite a few cards that you could cast that would, cause some problems, especially with the whole when you cast a second spell each turn deal 2. I think red wins is going to be a big one, just red straight burn. So those are the 2 cards that I sold. I mean, out of all my sales, let me put it this way, out of all my sales total, these 2 cards were 80% of the sales. I mean, that's insane. Sales have been kind of slow, because it's less than 24 hours and people still have to open their own packs. But, yeah, it was nuts on these. And a lot of the sales came in after F&M is traditionally ended. So I think people were winning with this card or something. So I think it's going to go in a deck. So those are my 2 hot tips. Now, one more additional thing that I have to add is I'm seeing a lot of comments on YouTube and a lot of comments on the forums and just everywhere saying, oh, there's 1 or 2 good cards, or there's no good cards, or the whole Oath of the Gatewatch is a bad set, or there's nothing good in it, or, some variation of that. That is so stupid. I mean, if you look at the card prices and you look at what the cards do, it's a bunch of what I call overpacked creatures, which means instead of it's a 2/2 for 2, blah, that's it, good luck. It's maybe it costs 3, and then it's a 3/2 flying vigilance that has a trigger and then an activated ability. It's just whoa, prepped for combat. So really what it is there are no standoutish cards that are whoa, like an Ugin or a, I guess Ulamog, but I can't really say that because hello, Kozilek. But there's no just outrageous cards that just pull ahead and cost $30-$40, which I think is nice, because then no matter what you're building, it's going to be relatively cheap pretty much. So that's kind of nice, but then a lot of cards cost more than $1. I mean, the rares, I should say, the rares and mythics. A lot of them are $3 or $4 because they're just all good. So the fact that nothing stands out in your head as killer cards doesn't mean the whole set's bad. It means the whole set is good. So, can't wait to see what happens after the next tournament, or the first national tournament, one where they'll post net decks and then everybody will copy them because they're a bunch of copycats. I think some cards will pull away. really high. But the problem is with all the cards at $3 or $4, a whole bunch of them are going to fall and a couple are going to go up. So a couple that I think are very, very underrated right now, which I already made a video about, I'm going to hold on to and see if they go up. So, but if you can get your hands on Goblin Dark Dwellers or a Sylvan Advocate, you definitely want to do that. They cannot possibly just crash. I mean, it's just guaranteed to go up. So make sure you can get some.